learning new information tonight on the major shakeup in the nation's capital.
The first lawmakers that throw their name into the running for House Speaker is Ohio Representative Jim Jordan. The announcement came less than 24 hours after Jordan defended McCarthy on the House floor and voted to keep him as Speaker. Jordan is the chair of the House Judiciary Committee and currently leading the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. He was an ally of Donald Trump and stood by the former president as he faced 2 impeachment investigations in the House.
Several lawmakers have already come out to back Jim Jordan, including fellow Ohio Representative Mike Carey, current Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, and Senator J.D. Vance, who believes Jordan would be an excellent speaker. Senator Vance told Colleen Marshall today that Jim Jordan is a good friend and would represent Ohio very well as a House Speaker.
But he did also raise some concerns about the chaos currently happening in the House. And Colleen Marshall is now here with that. Colleen.
Lots of attention on the GOP infighting, but McCarthy did not get a single vote from a Democrat either. Not a lot of cooperation and progress these days on Capitol Hill. North Carolina Representative Patrick McHenry is the interim speaker, but he has limited authority. And with the fight over who should take over, the uncertainty over whether agreement can be reached on a new speaker, and whether that new leader can then marshal enough support to advance an agenda, chaos continues to reign. Senator Vance says the uncertainty in the House means significant pending legislation is in jeopardy.
Well, obviously, we're very focused on the Railway Safety Act, Colleen, bringing some common sense safety standards to our rail industry. I definitely worry that could get lost in the sauce. I think the biggest crisis that we face in our country is the border crisis, especially at the southern border, between the fentanyl coming across, the sex trafficking, the drug trafficking. We have a major humanitarian disaster that's reaching all across our country. That's not being solved by either the U.S. Senate or the U.S. House or the U.S. President. So we have a lot of problems here.
But Vance tells me the chaos is not the real problem. It's what he calls the overall dysfunction of government. And he says people are angry at lawmakers, and rightfully so. Coming up tonight at 6, more on what he has to say about Jim Jordan's bid to be Speaker. And more on all the chaos coming up this Sunday morning at 10 on The Spectrum. Jared?
All right, Colleen, thank you. As for what's next, we spoke with a former Central Ohio congressman about what he wants to see happen. Steve Styer, now the president and CEO of the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, served in Congress for almost 2 decades. NBC4's Anna Hoffman sat down with him to talk about the potential impacts following yesterday's vote. Anna, what do you have to say?
Jared, Styer says he hopes that Congress can set aside their differences and pick a new speaker fast. He says until then, not much can happen. He also says there's a bit of irony in this vote.
Well, I thought it was kind of a sad day for America.
This was former Congressman Steve Styer's reaction to hearing about the historic vote to oust Kevin McCarthy from Speaker of the House. I asked him why he thinks this is happening now.
I think there's a lot of division right now, for sure. I think it's really unfortunate when somebody gets pushed out of office that I think was doing a pretty good job and trying to do the right thing.
This is the first time in the country's history a House Speaker has ever been forced out. But Styer says he was there for a similar situation in 2015 when former Speaker and Ohio Representative John Boehner stepped down. Styer says he imagines the tone on the House floor is chaotic, but he hopes Congress is looking toward the future.
It would be great to see people come together on somebody that can rally America and the House of Representatives to get things done and make a difference for the American people.
He says if it were him in those chairs, he would be calling up people like Ohio Representative Jim Jordan and Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise. Both men have thrown their name into the race for Speaker. Styer says he worked closely with both.
I think Steve Scalise has definitely been battle tested, done a lot of stuff, understands how to bring people together. Jim Jordan's done a good job as Judiciary Chairman. That's a relatively new post he's had since January. Never been in elected leadership. I think both of them could do the job.
Styer says the biggest impacts will be on expired and unpassed bills. He says in his current position with the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, his members care a lot about a balanced budget. So he's hoping that Congress can pick a new speaker in a timely manner and get back to those discussions. Local for you in downtown Columbus, I'm Anna Hoffman, NBC4.